All right, so 10 years in the service businesses, and gonna go ahead and just give away all the sauce. Now, I think that where I have the best expertise is probably in sales, probably in positioning, how to position yourself against the competition, how to do that in a way where you're also making it to where your customer is okay with spending more money than your competitors. Um, so often people position like almost same for same, like pick us. But I've always been, well, just try to convince them to spend more money, be the guy that they actually want you to want to work with, and that's what I did. There's a few different things that you can do that I think a lot of people aren't teaching. First up, hunting for a budget. That's the first thing that I do. That was one of the first things I was taught was how do you go into a customer's house? How do you go into a commercial space? How do you find out and get the number from them if they've got a bid from someone else? How do you get the number that's inside their head that maybe they've budgeted for, they're willing to pay for, even hope for? Like, well, I was hoping it was going to be 10, but I understand, it could be more. Even being able to get them to say that statement lets you know, yeah, they were hoping for that, but they know the reality is higher, right? I call some home runs, right? Some home runs are like where the project you could come in at 60 and be killer, and you'll ask them, what was your bid? And they'll say, yeah, last guy came in at 110. And then you're like, oh, well, maybe 87.5 doesn't sound so bad, right? And then you kill it, add an extra 20K profit onto that project. Like, you need it. Hey, if you're a single member, you're a small business, it's just you, like, optimize around yourself, right? You need those big wins. You just need to, because you got enough projects, you got enough things when it's just on you, that when you make a mistake, you know how much that costs you. It costs you time and money to go fix that mistake, and then whatever it costs you with your next customer, right? So take the home runs, and if you learn how to hunt for a number properly, to go in there and ask questions. And when you're positioning, other companies might do this, but we do this. Boom, A, B, C, go and explain it. Other companies might do this for waterproofing, but when we come in, this is our process. We do this and this and this and this. And we understand that that might make us a little bit more expensive, but we also know that that's going to give us the best warranty and give our customers the best product, right? The best service. So positioning that, and then you position enough times throughout the conversation, there start to becomes a tension in their mind of like, can I afford this guy? Like, is he doing everything so right that it's going to be too expensive? Like, you kind of almost want them to worry about that, right? And then instead of giving them a number, you ask them, okay, well, have you had any other bids? Yeah, we did. What did they come in at? Well, I'll let you know, okay? If it's under where you want to be, then you explain, well, did they say they were going to do it like this, or did they say it was going to do it like this? Because we find some of the cheaper contractors, they do it like this, but we do it like this, and here's why again, position, right? And we're never calling out an individual company. We're never doing anything like that, but we are constantly positioning ourselves against the ether of contractors out there. We're positioning ourselves against who's potentially already been in the house, who's potentially coming after us to give a bid, right? I'm positioning myself, even myself, I'll say, I know some sales guys, they'll come in and they'll do this great pitch and all this stuff, and then they won't even stay in contact with the customer. And I'm like, I just don't understand that, I still get Christmas cards sometimes, and I try to send Christmas cards, laughing, haha, right? That I'm different than whoever you're going to be dealing with. Loosen up, open up with me. Let's have a real discourse here, right? I'm constantly positioning, hunting for a number. Constantly positioning, hunting for a number. Once I get that number, the number that they've already received, the number that's in their head, or I have to give them a range. If I'm in a house and the guy won't give it to me, or the woman won't give me a number, then I'll say, we'll probably come in somewhere around, 30 on the lowest end if we're doing, builder grade materials. But we could go, I could see someone, if they wanted, walls ceiling, lighting, they wanted this to move to here. You could easily get this up to 60. It just depends how extravagant you want this to be. Do you have a certain number budget in mind, and do you have a look in mind? Oh yeah, this, boom, 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 right? Like that's where I'm going all the time. If you can get to where you're hunting for a number, that's the number one thing that is going to probably set you up to get those home run type projects more frequently, because you're consistently and constantly hunting for that number. When you're constantly asking for their budget, it's going to give you more opportunities to get someone who gives you a budget higher than what you would even come in at.